And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Well, donkey of the day for Monday, February 2nd. Second day of Black History Month goes to all the unserious journalists, all the unserious people, period, who just ran with the Pusha T, Eminem, and Jay-Z are in the Epstein file story. Yes, we are going to talk about that this morning because I don't understand. And I would love to get some understanding, okay? If you haven't heard, this weekend, the DOJ published millions of pages, videos, and images from its Epstein investigation under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. I believe they said it was roughly 3.5 million records. By the way, whenever something about the Epstein files comes out, it never fails that President Donald Trump does something ridiculous, okay? This past Friday, independent journalists Don Lemon and Georgia Fort were arrested by federal agents in Minnesota. They were accused of conspiracy and violating the First Amendment rights of worshipers during an anti-ICE protest at a city's church in St. Paul. Both of them were released on bond following their initial court appearance. And President Trump said former President Barack Obama should be arrested, okay? There's a direct correlation between Epstein files being released and President Donald Trump doing or saying something crazy to deflect, okay? It just is. Now, there are all types of things in these files. First of all, massive privacy failure because 43 survivors of Epstein's abuse were published without redaction. You got addresses, driver license photos. So now these people are getting harassed online. It's nasty. Okay, then there was evidence suggesting a wider trafficking network. Okay, they got newly disclosed material that suggests Epstein may have trafficked girls to other wealthy, powerful men, contradicting earlier DOJ claims that there was insufficient evidence to pursue others. You also saw in the files a lot of communication with high-profile individuals, a lot of emails and communications back and forth between Epstein and many wealthy, powerful people, okay? But I have to say, the presence of names does not necessarily imply wrongdoing, all right? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, bunch of politicians from the UK. Now, I know people are wondering what is going to come of all this, and the answer is probably nothing. Legally anyway. I mean, the DOJ Deputy AG Todd Blanche said the files do not currently provide enough credible prosecutable evidence to bring new charges against other figures. I would say, well, if you take out all the credible prosecutable evidence before you release the files, of course they don't have enough credible prosecutable evidence, okay? But I want to get to the Pusha T, Jay-Z, Eminem of it all because that's what went crazy on my algorithm. And I have questions. I have one question. There's one question for the room. What do niggas hate more? Reading or accountability? What y'all think?
Accountability.
Reading.
I think reading too. Okay? I think reading as well. Okay? I don't understand why y'all are so quick to want to tear our own down without doing just a little bit of research. Okay? By the way, I saw way more headlines about Pusha T and Jay-Z than I did Eminem, but that's not surprising because we love tearing our own down. Even though when you're talking hip hop, Eminem is one of us, okay? But I don't even like the headlines I saw of him. All right? Connecting Pusha T, Jay-Z, and Eminem to something like the Epstein files? Come on, man. Okay, listen, for everyone who may not know, let me explain to you. Mentions of these artists didn't come from Epstein's personal records. They didn't come from reports supported by law enforcement. Okay, these stories came from a crisis intake report, a public hotline submission, a tip that some random person called in from 2019. They aren't backed by court findings, indictments, confirmed evidence. And if you actually read the stories, they just simply don't make any sense. Okay, what the hell would Jay-Z be doing with Harvey Weinstein and Attorney General William Barr in 1996? That was the year his first album came out. Do you really think Pusha T in 2007 was hanging around Harvey Weinstein and was one of the victim's handlers? In the Eminem story, the woman describes how she weighs 300 pounds. So a video of her would be easy to find. This is her words, not mine. She says this in the report. She weighs 300 pounds, so a video of her would be easy to find. And in the Eminem story, she said when she woke up, she saw someone recording with a phone, and she thinks it was Diddy. Okay? All right? Once again, these are public hotline submissions. Not nothing within the file. These are public hotline submissions. The tips itself don't imply these individuals were investigated, okay? Nor does it in any way imply guilt for any of these accusations. The DOJ literally said some of the accusations posed could be fake or falsely submitted. By the way, anyone who actually took the time to read any of these stories would know that. Now, I don't have a problem with people reporting this. I just don't understand how y'all don't report this with proper context. All you outlets know that people don't read past headlines. So if you put Pusha T, Jay-Z, Eminem in the Epstein files, everybody is going to run with it. And I just be having to sit back and think, do we realize how much we are getting played, okay? Whenever the powers that be want to deflect from what they got going on, they will always throw meat to the blacks, okay? Because they know nobody controls the algorithm like black people, all right? Why do you think they like utilizing black influencers, black rappers, black artists? Because nobody controls the algorithm like we do. Nobody gets people going like us. Oh, Epstein files coming out? Okay, put out some of the stuff from the DOJ tip line. There's some big names in there, and it will be good this weekend because Pusha T is nominated for all types of awards at the Grammys this year, and people on social media, by people, I mean Drake fan pages, will have a field day with this, and they will talk about this so much that it will keep us out of the algorithm. Do we not understand how black culture is being used to protect the agendas of the elite? Okay, Epstein files come out Friday. Don Lemon in Georgia Fort. Black journalists get arrested. President Obama gets threatened with jail time. And just for a little razzle-dazzle, Jay-Z, Pusha T, Eminem, and the Epstein files. All to get your algorithm focused off the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and some of the most powerful people in this world. And sadly, it worked. But listen, when you're black and successful, it comes with the territory. And as my therapist tells me often, you can't have your success without the problems that come with it. And sadly, unserious journalism is one of those problems. Please give all these unserious journalists who just ran with the Pusha T, Eminem, Jay-Z's, and the Epstein file story the biggest hee-haw.
All right.
And I know I said all that for nothing because nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
Which I saw in a lot of the comments on all those blogs who posted that. So Charlamagne, the people they with you because they was like so they was quoting them up and down all of it.
Makes
up
sense.
and down all them comments.
All right.
Well, I wrote that in my first book. Nobody cares about it. I wrote about why nobody cares about the truth and the lies more entertaining. Yes, and I've been saying that for well over a decade.
Yeah, decades.
And sadly, it just gets worse and worse.
It ages well.
I thought it would have slowed down from 2014, 2015. It's just gotten worse and worse
people
and
are getting
worse
paid
and
for it.
worse.
Yeah,
People are getting paid
aging
for
well.
it now. So that's what makes it worse. If they weren't getting paid for it, it wouldn't matter. There's no consequences. But anyway.
Donkey of the Day is sponsored by renowned personal injury attorney Michael the Bull Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey when you need a fighter on your side. If you're ever injured, go to michaelthebull.com. That's michaelthebull.com. And when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?